Can you imagine only trying something once and then giving up and being like, I am not good at this? Because I can, because I hear it all the time when I'm working with students and just like people in the world. They're like, I just wish I had an ounce of your creativity. I just wish. But you know what? At the end of the day, the only difference between creative people and non creative people is creative people believe they're creative and you exercise that muscle. So if you believe you're creative, you're more likely to exercise the muscle in which you do creative things. I've been working on figuring out how to paint roses. It's something that's been on my list for a long time, but like when you look at a rose, there's so many things going on and it's hard to figure out exactly what to paint and like how to edit it down. So I didn't paint 100 roses, but I did paint a lot. And if I would have stopped here, I would have been like, I'm not really very good at painting roses. Like, the best I can do is like a cartoon style rose. But I didn't give up because I know for a fact that anytime we are learning to paint or draw something new, also, side note, watercolor is a newer medium for me, so it's really hard. I was using acrylic paint and some oil paint. And with acrylic and oil paint, the nice thing is you can build up, like you start with the big basic shapes and you can layer it on top and then you can layer like the highlights on the very top. But when you're using watercolor, you really have to try and start with the lightest layer as possible because you're using the white of the paper for the highlights, so you don't want a lot of paint. So it's been really interesting to try to like flip my brain from being like, oh, big shapes, like these are the shadow shapes, and then like using a different color to create the highlights, whereas now I'm using the paper to just leave white or a very light pigment. But it's a puzzle. And I didn't get here drawing, like, this is one of my first ones, and this is one of my first ones, my first couple. This was a study I was doing of some, like, of a bouquet, and it's like, there's just so many different pieces. And so, really, what I ended up doing is I painted some roses. And a lot of times, what I do when I'm trying to figure out how to create something new is I know it's like a process and it's an unfolding. So, what I'll do is I'll like pick one angle. So, the first angle I was trying to do was just like the rose from straight on. So, something like this is the card I created. So, something like this, where it's like you're looking straight on. And that was the first rose that I was trying to figure out. So, I painted like 5 of them. I sketched out some of the things. I also watched some tutorials because I'm like, what are the main pieces? Like, what am I looking at first? What am I drawn to first? Um, and so what I did was I painted a handful of roses, drew them, and then I went to sleep for the night and I just let it go. And what happens is like as you're sleeping, your brain continues to try to put together the puzzle pieces of how to do the rose. I even took a nap and I was like in my like subconscious, I was still like trying to figure out and break down the pieces. So I'm like looking at a rose, trying to break down the pieces so that they're getting better and better. And then I started doing, once I felt like I got a good process for the front view. I'll show you. These ones were my favorite. Once I got a good process for the front view, I started doing the side view. Here's one of the front and side. Um, but yeah, it's just a process. It's a puzzle, and you can figure out anything. And what I'm doing the roses for is it's going to be Mother's Day coming up. I don't know if I showed this one yet. It's gonna be Mother's Day coming up, so I wanted to make cards. So this was like the first card I made. I also did some very simple designs for Mother's Day, whereas this is more of an impressionist style. It's not very realistic, but it looks really cool. And this one too. And I'm gonna bring these to the shop downtown um, for to sell for Mother's Day. Maybe I'll do release a whole collection and try to put that on my website. I've just been a little bit busy with work and applying to programs and all of that. Here are a couple Easter cards. I'm not a huge fan of Easter, so I only made 2. If people buy them, great. If not, whatever. I think I like this one more. It's more of a card design. But I have been busy. I am officially, well, not officially. I have to tie one more loose end, but I am in a and will be starting to earn my CTE credentialing, teaching credential, which is in a designated subject. So it will be in arts, media, and entertainment. And I'm really excited for that journey. It took me a little while to come to a point where I was ready for that, but I am ready to do more full time work because that work is going to stabilize and ground my income so that I continue. So, like in the summers and stuff, I can continue working on making art that really speaks to me and not just art to try to sell it as, for the sake of design, but I can really like dig into storytelling and like doing different meaningful series, and I'll have that time and then a little bit more financial structure under it so that if I become a well-known famous artist in 1 year, 10 years, 20 years, after I retire, that's still okay with me. It could be a long journey and that is just fine. But um, we're almost at the end of the school year and I'm getting to this point where I'm feeling like, ugh, feel like I feel like my bandwidth is just maxed out. I'm feeling a little stretched thin because I'm working. I have my own kids. My kids have activities and hobbies, and they want me to be further. I want to be there for them as well because they're just getting older and older, and all of a sudden it's like I feel like they're going to be out of the house before we know it. So I'm trying to just like stay grounded and present with them. Also work on my creative um, stuff. If you like any of these designs, keep a lookout for a Mother's Day collection. If you're interested in a Mother's Day collection or buying a hand painted card for your mom, send me a DM on Instagram or send me an email. You can find my email or send an inquiry on my website at jessicadarlingstudio.com. But the theme is definitely going to be roses this year. I'm really excited because moms are the best. And I'm excited to see how this kind of mini card series pans out. Maybe I'll even just do some, like, just straight up, like, paintings of some bouquets or something. I don't know. Anyways, my name is Jessica Darling. Thank you for stopping by. If you enjoyed this and you have been coming back to these videos, thank you. I love you. Hopefully, and the plan is that this community continues to grow and gets bigger and more loving and impactful as I figure out what to do with it. But I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye for now.